So, you watch the devlog, and you think, making a game's easy as fuck. Yeah? You're stupid. And we wanted to share our experience of being stupid game devs who decided to make games with no clue what we were doing, and how we made a game anyway. We're a couple of goblins who really just wanted to make games. So we made Honor++, a samurai PvP game. But before that, we had a couple of stillborn projects. We'd come up with a bunch of cool ideas, but they were too damn over-scoped. Yeah, we'd come up with the coolest idea ever and get all hyped about it, and then get lost in the sauce, brainstorming without considering our actual abilities as devs. It went like...
What game should we make?
We're winging it, we're making stuff up as we go, and then we realize we have no idea how to properly execute any of that stuff we just brainstormed, and we'd feel really overwhelmed by everything, and just the scope of the work it would take to make it real. So we'd drop everything and go back to the drawing board. After repeating that a few times, we got pretty sick of doing, well... So one dev said, fuck it, let's just remake one of my old games. And we chose Honor+, a janky little samurai PvP tech demo he made when he was learning how to code. The idea was to create a small game in like 2 to 3 months, just to prove we could finish a game. Basically, we're trying to make Ghost of Tsushima if Jin Sakai said, nah, forget the plot, and just ran straight into PvP lobbies to catch fades with other samurai. Raw gameplay, nothing else. We did end up making a game. At first, we just remade the original, made a basic environment, slapped a basic character in there, gave him controls and a moveset: walk, run, attack, block, jump, slide. Implementing the slide? Now that was the moment the game started to take shape. Before, it was just a basic sword fighting game. But because physics were janky, when you collide with your homie when sliding, you sent them to space. We were spending hours just trying to slide kick each other, and it was so fun. We decided to pivot the whole game to that wacky, floaty physics sandbox. We weren't really thinking about how it would scale, what would happen next. We were planning to just make it and forget about it. So we had a pretty fun prototype, but what's next? Well, we have to make it an actual playable game. We kicked off this whole thing with a game design document, like you're supposed to, right? But we made it so short, like a few sentences at most. We were like, all right, we just need like a map, some characters, the bare minimum to get this to work. We were rushing so hard that we straight up forgot to update the game design document at all. Eventually, we just stopped looking at the thing altogether because it was too bare bones. When deciding on the visual direction for the game, we were inspired by 80s sci-fi and just went absolutely stupid with it. And so our cast was created. Alien is from a planet-conquering species that is hungry for blood. Bug caught hive mind mushroom STDs from space baddies, became a zombie, then the hive mind collapsed, and now he just exists to fight. Robot was part of an AI network enslaving half the universe, got disconnected, became mortal, thought, well damn, I might as well just learn the blade then. He's lore related to Samurai was just chilling in Edo period Japan when a portal showed up, jumped in without thinking. Full Samurai Jack situation. And Proto... So those are the characters, but what's their story? Basically, these 4 intergalactic samurai pirates stopped caring about anything except fighting. They have this interdimensional time portal in the main menu. It's basically a hyperbolic time chamber, but instead of training, they just pick random fire locations to throw hands at each other. Straight Goku and Vegeta energy, just eternally looking for the next scrap. Now, these characters were amazing to conceptualize. It was raw imagination. The problem was we were rushing like crazy, so the models got made in ZBrush, and we just hit the Z remesh button. Rigging and animating those models? It was hell, but like, whatever, right? It's a 2-month project. The source files were all over the place, and sometimes we didn't even have them. For the map, we wanted something vertical, since the air combat was our whole thing. At least that was written in the game design document. But we ended up making this open courtyard with some platforms instead, which honestly was probably the better move, since a vertical map would have been ass before we added the wall jump, which came way later. And this open map allowed for a lot of movement. The lore of the first map is basically that it's a destroyed alien monk temple. The courtyard is where they trained. The big buildings in the back is where they lived. Unfortunately, their training didn't help them to survive the giant intergalactic war that slimed them all. R.I.P. The idea was for the courtyard to be the main combat area, and everything else was just set dressing. The one thing that bugs me is that when we were finished with the blockout stage, we just went straight to the art department without playtesting. Funny enough, we did it twice when we added the second map way after the release. And oh my god, we made the same mistake again in our other game. Since we weren't playtesting it on the blockout stage, there's a ton of unpolished corners flow-wise that we noticed way too late. But we were rushing and hadn't stopped to think, what's the best way to do this? We just wanted to make it as fast as possible. So now the game looks kinda okay-ish. We had all the stuff done and just needed to do some polishing. We thought we could do that in like 1 week. Polishing was the hardest part. The main menu with all those CRT screens, making the map actually look good instead of gray blocks everywhere. VFX that didn't look like placeholder Unity assets from 2012. Sound design, making everything feel cohesive and not like a bunch of random shit thrown together. Everyone says it, but it's true and it hits different once you experience it. 20% of the game is made 80% of the time. Everything that seems almost done is actually halfway done. You've been bamboozled. Polish is where games live or die. So we enslaved our friends to playtest the game for us and hunt down bugs while giving us feedback. This was the best idea ever. If we hadn't done that, the game would have been an even buggier mess than it is right now. Also, playtesting multiplayer games just hits different, and people be throwing out ideas left and right to make stuff better. Like air dashes? That came from one of those sessions, and it made air combat even crazier. By the end, we were so exhausted, we just wanted to ship it and forget about it. We just about published the game on itch.io and forgot about it. That's when we realized, despite everything, the chaos, the terrible workflow, the complete lack of planning, we'd actually cooked something really good. Not perfect. Because at the end of the day, we just made a game we thought was fire. There were no focus groups, no market research, no carefully calculated design pillars. Just two goblins asking, wouldn't this be sick? Over and over, until we had a game. And somehow that was enough. We really did that. Yeah, we made mistakes. A lot of them. Like so many. Like enough. More mistakes than we didn't make. But we also made a game. Go make something, gang. Follow your heart. And play Honor++ with your friends. If you don't have any, you're a loser. Sorry, bye!